So then you are going to string through this bead with no beads on your string. Then you're going to string on a white bead and put it into this white bead. And then put on another white bead and string it through this black bead. And then take another white bead, string it through this bead, white bead. And then take another white bead, string it through this white bead. And that's how it should look. So then you're going to string on a white bead and string it onto this white bead so it sits like that. Then you're going to string on a black bead and string it onto this white bead. And then you're going to string on another black bead into this white bead. And then you put on another black bead, string it through this white bead. We just strung on this black bead through this white bead. And the other string, which is coming out of this white bead, and you string it through, string it through this bead. So take it and string it. This string should be coming out of this bead, and this string should be coming out of this bead. So on this bead that you just strung through this bead, you should string on a white bead, and then with this other string, string it through that same white bead but go on the opposite way, and then bring it down, and it should look like that. So after you just strung that one on, you're going to string on a black bead and string it through this black bead, and then you string on another black bead and you string it through this black bead, and then you string on another black bead and you string it through this black bead, and then you take another black bead and string it through this white bead, so it would look like that. Okay, so now you are going to take it from the other side, so this side, and you're going to string on a white bead and then string it through this black bead. So it would pop up like that. Take another black bead, string it through this black bead, and then take a black bead and string it through this black bead, and then take another black bead and string it through this black bead. So on this side, one of the strings should be coming out of this white bead, and one of them should be coming out of this black bead. So take the string that's coming out of the white bead and string on a white bead. Then with the other string, go through the bead, but go the opposite way. And then pull it down. So it would look like that. And we're just about done. String on another white bead and string it through this black bead. Take a white bead and string it through this black bead. And then take another white bead string it through this black bead, and then take another white bead and string it through this white bead. Okay, so it should look like that. You should have the bottom and this part. So now we should just be doing the circle here. You should have about this much more beads left. And then take your string it through this white one with no beads on it. It should look like that. And then take a white bead and string it through this white bead. Take a black bead and string it through this white bead. And then take a white bead and then string it through this white bead. So it should look like that. One string should be coming out of this white one, and then this white one, the opposite string. So now what we're going to do is take this string that's coming out of this bead, string it through this white bead. And then you string on a black bead, and you string that one through that black bead. And then you take another black bead, and you string it through this white bead. And then you take another white bead, string it on your string, and string it through this black bead you just strung on. And then you string on another white bead, and you string it through this black bead. Alright, so one of your strings should be coming out of this black bead, and one of your strings should be coming out of this white bead. So take the one that's coming out of the black bead and string on a white bead onto that one, and then take your other string and bring it through the opposite way. Bring your other string through the opposite way, and then pull. And then it should look like that. Okay, so now you're going to string on a black bead, and you should have 2 more with this one that you're stringing on. You should have 5 white. And then string it through this white bead. Then take another black bead, and bring it through this white one. and then string on a white bead and string it up into this black bead you just put on. And then take a black bead. This should be your last black bead. String it through this black bead here. And it should look like something like that, you know? Anyways, I'm gonna add more string because I only have this. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, so when I added more string on, I forgot to record and I finished it, but I'll just explain to you what you should have done. Okay, so the last thing you did was take this black bead and put it through this black bead. Okay, so after that, you would just take this string that's coming out of there and the string that's coming out of that white bead, put on a white bead on the string that's coming out of the black bead, and then take your other string and put it through the opposite way, through the bead, and then kind of like a ladder, you know, and then pull it down. And then you would string on a white bead, and you would string it through that black bead. Then you'd string on another white bead, and string it through that white bead. And then you would go up through this bead, string on a white bead, and then go through the case. So go through there, string on another bead, and then string on this bead, and then tie it. So I hope I explained that good. I'm sorry about that. At least it was just the ending part that I didn't do. I'm sure that the ending part probably won't be hard to figure out because it should just look like this. And it's an easy peel stitch, you know? So it shouldn't be that hard. There's only a few beads that you guys kind of have to figure out, and I kind of explained it verbally. Anyways, I'm sorry about that. So it should look like that at the ending anyways. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I explained it well, like the whole thing, you know. If you like this tutorial, give it a thumbs up. If you want more tutorials from me in the future, then subscribe, and I will be back with a whole lot more because I have a lot coming because I've done a lot that I'm going to make tutorials on. So subscribe, like, do whatever. I hope you have a good day. I'll see you next tutorial.